Continuing our coverage now of the verdict in the case against Officer Cesar Goodson. We are joined now by attorney Warren Alperstein, who's been following this case in the courtroom. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
So you certainly were not surprised by the not guilty verdicts on all charges.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. Throughout the case, I sat through it. I did not believe the state was going to secure a conviction on any of the charges. As the closing arguments came and went, it became more obvious when Judge Williams was really going after the state, taking them to task for its failure to prove the rough ride theory we've heard so much about, as well as the lack of evidence that Freddie Gray was in need of emergency medical help. So at the end of the day, I'm not surprised.
So the state's now 0 for 3 with 1 mistrial and 2 acquittals, and Cesar Goodson was supposed to be the big fish. These were the most serious charges. Where does the state go from here?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, given that Judge Williams found that there was absolutely no evidence of the rough ride, there was no evidence that the failure to seatbelt Freddie Gray amounted to criminal intent, and further, Judge Williams found that because there were no outward signs obvious to the officers that interacted with Freddie Gray in the back of that transport wagon, that Freddie Gray was in any kind of medical distress. I don't think it bodes well for successful prosecution for the other officers charged under these same theories.
Marilyn Mosby made a very public announcement when she charged these officers. Obviously, extremely high-profile case. But now, what's left with these officers who are presumably less involved? And if you don't have Cesar Goodson, what does she do? Does she move forward? Does she drop these charges? What happens?
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in, I suppose, right now for the State's Attorney's Office. On the one hand, the State's Attorney's Office, you know, back in May of 2015, committed to the citizens of Baltimore that it was going to seek justice for Freddie Gray, and in doing so, you know, prosecuting these 6 officers. Now times have changed. We have 2 acquittals and a third, that being Officer Porter, who the state couldn't convict either. I think it's going to be real tough for her to drop these cases based on the fact that she promised these citizens, you know, here in Baltimore, that she was going to seek that justice.
Warren Alperstein, we appreciate you coming in and sharing your perspective once again.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.